All right, guys. Topic today: how fast or how great should a kid get when they start lessons? And I'm going to respond with, well, how long does it take your ass to get in shape? How long does it take your ass to become, when you start training in the weight room, when you start trying to get fit or toned, how long does it take you to get in shape? Here's the thing. I'm 37 years old. I've been training since I was 13 in the weight room. I'm still getting better. I'm still developing every single day. I always will use this analogy when a parent is wanting to start lessons and their kid's developing and stuff, and they, 3-4 months go in and they're like, man, I see them getting better. They're hitting the ball harder. And, they're hitting the ball better the opposite way, or they're pulling the ball better and they weren't able to pull the ball more. But he's still doing this, and this wrong. Well, no shit, he's still doing this, and this wrong, or she's still doing this, and this wrong. It's a part of the game. There have been something around 20,000 or less, I think it's less if I remember right, that have actually played, ball players that have played in the MLB. Think about that. I live in a city, it's like 60,000 people, and less than a third of that have played at the highest level possible in this. Name another profession where the failure rate is that high to get to the mecca, get to the top, get to the peak of its profession. It's nuts. I don't think it exists. Maybe it does somewhere, but I don't know. It's the same reason why hitting at the highest level, failing 7 times out of 10 will get you into the Hall of Fame as the greatest of all time. Everybody's road is different. I talk about this all the time, but when your kid starts lessons, if you're watching this video, you should see progression, 100%. But they're never going to be perfect. They're always going to make mistakes. Look at a marriage. Are you fighting with your spouse at all during the year? Or do you constantly have to work on stuff? Are you human and do you fail at things? Absolutely. Do you let people down? Absolutely. Do you try to make it up? Absolutely. There's something about people in sport, and specifically in the baseball world. Someone goes in the weight room, they expect failure. They expect the weights to be hard. They expect to not lift the heaviest weight possible early. It takes years and years and years and years and years of development to get strong as hell. You go to school. Hey, you got to take math class at first grade. Then you take it again in second grade, and then it develops. It gets harder. Then in high school, you get into pre-cal, then in cal. And then college, if you continue, it gets even harder. And I'm like, why is this expected in every other profession? But you get in baseball, which is harder than all these other professions, by the way. And people think no mistakes are going to happen and perfection is going to happen all the time. If you expect that, you don't know anything, and you're giving it away to your instructor, giving it away that you don't know anything about this game. Development happens. Progress happens. Elite progress takes time. Elite progress amongst elite players takes even more time. I just had a kid that committed to college, and 4 or 5 years ago, if people would have watched him play, there's no way in hell they would have thought he would have played in college ball. No way in hell. But it took time. We worked with him over and over and over. Lifting, the weight room, you name it. And I'm not going to name any names. I'm not trying to, call people out or embarrass people. And they shouldn't be embarrassed if they know that I'm talking about them, because it takes work. It takes development. It takes the right instructor, it takes the right coach, the right family. Should you expect results? 100%. But you got to understand that this is a process. It takes time to develop and get to another level, another level, another level, another level. Did you go through one bad thing in life and immediately become mentally tough? Oh, I can handle anything. I can handle any death or any problem my way. No, you didn't. Because it takes time, and it takes new problems and new adversities and new things to work through. The human body was built to take on adversity. The human body was built to grow, to learn. Development in baseball, development in lessons, development in hitting, development in pitching, it's forever until you stop playing. You don't just learn it. Another analogy, I'm dropping analogies left and right. You don't just build up to 500 pounds in deadlift and be like, poof, I'm done. I don't need to do it anymore. Once I stop, I'll be able to deadlift 500 pounds the rest of my life. It's not how it works. If you don't use it, you lose it. If you're not constantly working, you're behind. If you're wanting to invest in lessons and work and you're not doing it the majority of the year, to me, 9 to 12 months out of the year, if your goal is to play college baseball and beyond or college softball and beyond, and you're not doing it 9 to 12 months out of the year, you're pretending. You're pretending. Like, if you want to be one of that less than 20,000 ever play in the MLB and you don't think it takes every day to put some sort of work into it, it doesn't take to learn from a mentor or from an instructor weekly, a couple times a week to do it, you're crazy. Like, you're nuts. You live in a fantasy world. You live in a fantasy world. Think about like any other elite profession, what it takes and how much time it takes to become great at it. Painting, working with sculptures. I mean, hell, selling insurance. Like, this game is always evolving. It's always changing. And whatever the profession is, you're going to develop, you're going to get better, but you're going to fail. And the best quote to end it with this is, if you aren't willing, and this is from Jordan Peterson, if you aren't willing to look like a fool, you're never going to become a master. Most people are insecure, and most parents get insecure that their kids, and most parents are more of a detriment to the kids than they realize, like pulling them out of things when they shouldn't be pulled out of things because they're not developing at the rate that they think they should. When that parent didn't even play the sport, they never were a part of the sport. They don't even know anything about it. And just because like you are aware and you know things about your kid doesn't mean you know what's best for them when it comes to a sporting development. Like, that coach or that mentor that's put people on the field before, they're going to know better than you. It is what it is. Like, if I'm taking a kid to learn about basketball, I played basketball. Does that mean I can coach it? No, I'm not going to coach basketball. I'll help out, but I'm not the one that did it. I'm going to look to someone that's done it before and develop it. My kids are in wrestling right now. They're going to wrestle forever. I've trained state champion All-American wrestlers in the weight room. I know how to train them. I know how to make them stronger, faster, bigger, stronger, faster, kill it, you name it. But the technique and the actual teaching of and the instruction of the mechanics on the mat, that's not my job. That's the coach's job. And I know to lean on them, to learn from them. And I'm elite at what I do. And they're elite at what they do. Figure it out, guys, because development is forever. And I went on a rant here, but I think it's needed. This wasn't even spurred on by anything. This question gets asked or gets talked about in some form or fashion multiple times throughout every year. So ask yourself next time, man, is my kid, is he getting better? Like, is he really getting better? Is he the best now? Yeah, he's getting better. He's not the best. He's got to work to be the best. I mean, how long have you been in a CrossFit class or a workout class? You still look fat and nasty. I mean, I don't know. You tell me. Coach Laird, out.